Today I want to talk to you guys about how to develop your psychic abilities. Hello my babies and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leora Alexandra. Welcome to the Baby Elephant community. On this channel, we talk about the law of attraction, spirituality, self-development, UFOs, and so much more. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys how we're going to develop our psychic abilities in a few easy steps, some more complicated steps, but any of these are going to just make you a lot more psychic. Before I get into this video, however, I do have a sponsor for today's video, which is very appropriate. It's Keen. Now, what I was going to do when Keen reached out to me, I had this video lined up. I was planning on doing a video on how to develop your psychic senses. And the reason why you know this is because on 3 days ago, I posted this video, Open Up Your Sixth Sense, on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you're not. And then Keen reached out and they're like, we'd love to sponsor another video. And I was like, okay, that's perfect. What I want to do is I want to contact a psychic with the credits that they give me, and I want to ask her or him to give me advice on how to become more psychic myself so that I can pass that advice on to you guys, because we can do everything ourselves. We really can. However, sometimes man makes plans and God laughs. So I picked this one psychic. Her name is Monique Empath. And it said that she has 134 IQ. I don't know, that drew me to her. I was like, she's gonna give me really good advice on how to teach other people to be more psychic. I called her. She's the most legit psychic advisor I've talked to on Keen, and I've talked to like 6 or 7 now. I felt such a strong connection to her. I asked her, I'm like, what can I do to be more psychic? She started going into my past lives. She was telling me I have to start doing this and that and this and that. And she honestly did give me some good advice about how to relate onto others, how to become more psychic. Not only was she so genuine and so on point, and not just giving me information I wanted to hear, but pinpointing things like something with my ancestry, all this really cool stuff. She actually identified my great-grandfather, who used to be a very, very famous rabbi. She actually saw him and said that his intuitive abilities came to me. She's just awesome. But she spoke really fast, and that's a good sign to me because it means that she values my time. She knows that we pay by the minute, and she just wanted to get the information out there for me. And I spoke to her for about 11 minutes. Now, good news, Keen, because they love me and we've worked together a few times, they have hooked my community up with a really good promotion that they actually don't offer other influencers and things like that. If you're new to Keen, you get a 10-minute reading for just $1.99, which is amazing because I spoke to Monique for 11 minutes and got so much value out of her. For $1.99, that's insane. So if you don't know what Keen is, it is a website that allows you to contact spiritual advisors, life coaches, empaths, tarot card readers, and all this really, really amazing spiritual stuff that they provide you guidance in relationships, life, career, just anything you have a question about. It is one of the most affordable and easy ways to get a professional reading done 24/7. The website is 24/7, so you wake up at 3 in the morning because you're going through your psychic awakening and you need some guidance. Guess who's there? Keen's there. And I recently found out that you can also develop like a relationship with the psychic advisors, and you can do monthly check-ins with them where it's like intention setting. You can gain clarity on synchronicities that you've been experiencing. You can have chakra clearing, all that good stuff. So though, like I said, we can definitely do all this stuff on our own, it's sometimes nice to have the access to a professional who does this for a living and could shed some light. So when you find a good one like Monique Empath, go for it. Once you sign up already and try Keen, they send you weekly emails with promos like $5 free or spend $10, get $20. So they hook their email list up really, really well. So get on their email list. And if you want to take advantage of the promotion that they made just for our community, just go to trykeen.com/Leor and the link will be in the description below. And now let's get on with the video. So I made a list of ways that will allow us to become more intuitive, more psychic, actually psychic. Most of this list is from my own experience, things that I did knowingly and unknowingly, super unconsciously, like decalcifying my pineal gland or beginning that process. And then some of the things were inspired by Monique's advice. So first of all, you have to understand that we are all psychic. We all have the ability to be psychic. This This gift was actually just suppressed in us by our cultures, traditions, society, media, people in charge. They don't want us to know how powerful we are. They don't want us to know that we can make decisions on our own, we have intuitive abilities, we can sense energies. There's a small minority of people in the world that benefit greatly from us thinking that we are at the whims of other people, that we have no control over our own existence. And we know on this channel that that's just not true. So it's not so much that you are becoming psychic, it's more that you are opening up to accepting and tapping into your extrasensory abilities. But from childhood, you were taught to ignore them or to think that there's just things that are happening in your mind. So I'm sure a lot of you could relate. In childhood, I've talked about this before. I used to talk to the wind. It was really like probably my spirit guide. I used to see things in the corners of my eyes, like light, beams of light, and like orbs and things like that. And we're taught to think that these are just tricks of our mind, or our eyes just saw something that's not there. I don't know. We're taught to think that it's not real. So I guess the first step would be to accept that you are already psychic, you already have these extrasensory abilities, you just have to open up to them and to understand that you've had them your entire life, especially in childhood. Number two, becoming more psychic, is to open yourself up to the possibility that you have different strengths in your psychic ability. So some people are more clairvoyant, so they see things. Some people are clairaudient, so they hear things. Some are claircognizant, so they just know things. I just know things. I also hear and see things, which sounds insane, I know, but we're going to take that notion out of the picture in this video. Thank you. There are so many ways that we can experience psychic abilities. You can be a past life regression hypnotist. You can talk to interdimensional beings, to angels, to spirit guides. You could read energy, you could read minds, you could see auras, you could have remote viewing abilities. And you have the ability really to make all of these happen as long as you tap into it and practice your craft. Third thing that you have to do to start getting more into your extrasensory ability journey is to silence the outside noise. There's a reason why the TV is always on. There's a reason why we have noise pollution, why we have light pollution. There's always light on. There's always noise on. There's always something that distracts us. If we're silent, even if we're in the dark and protected, of course, we might hear a message. We might get a visit from an angel. We might suddenly realize that there's more to this reality than what we've been told and given and taught, right? All the stimuli that you are exposed to all day long. It's like 15,000 ads per day if you're on social media, if you watch TV, if you check your email, if you watch the news, you get exposed to ad after ad after ad after just going outside. There's also air pollution. There's all this different stuff out there that is meant to confuse you, distract you, and get you further away from your innate abilities. So to be practical about this, what can you do? I'll tell you what I've done. I don't watch TV anymore. I don't even really watch Netflix anymore. I know that sounds blasphemous, I understand, but I have a life that's so fulfilling and so full that I don't need that stuff distracting me. The other day I downloaded Sims because somebody commented like, I manifest my life using Sims or something. I thought it was such a cute idea. And I have such a warm memory of Sims from when I was a little kid. I just used to have so much fun with it. And I downloaded it and I started playing it and I'm like, this is literally my life. Like I have to make sure this person goes to the bathroom, washes himself, cooks, cleans, does some art, plays piano. Like I do this in real life. Why am I distracting myself with other things? And it just made me realize how much is out there that distracts us from living a full life. So much distraction from getting out in nature, from just stepping into our power. Turn off the radio. Don't listen to the radio. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not. I'm really as sane as a person could possibly be who sees and hears things and has a community of 200,000 people, as sane as a person could be who lives a life that I live. And I don't listen to the radio. I haven't listened to the radio for probably 2 years. I don't watch TV. I don't even have cable at my house. If I watch something, it's something that expands my consciousness. Or honestly, YouTube. I love YouTube because it is uncensored. So I do like seeing, you know, my favorite commentators or my favorite comedians, their vlogs, things like that. That's okay. But recognize and be discerning of what you're consuming. Number 4, this is something I've talked about on Instagram. It's probably the simplest thing to do, but it might be hard to start getting into it, and that is to start making your own decisions. I remember I used to call my best friend and my mom every single day to ask them, what should I eat? Or what should I text this guy? All my friends ask me, what should I text this guy? What should I do with this? What should I do with this? What should I wear? What should I this? What should I that? Stop asking people what you should do. Start making your own decisions. If you have to consult an expert for something, for sure, go ahead and do that. But you have all the answers within you. And if you stop asking people to make your decisions for you, you're going to have to come up with the answers yourself. And those answers are going to come from inside of you. And what do you think that is? If you think for a second that that's not an extrasensory ability, you're wrong. That is developing your psychic intuition. Start deciding for yourself what to eat at lunch. You'll end up deciding for yourself the best course to take in your life without any outer influence. Okay, now this one I stumbled on accidentally. I started when I became more in tune with myself, and when I started getting deeper into this psychic spiritual journey that I'm in right now, the way I started eating and consuming things just changed. And I've talked about this in other videos before about awakening. I suddenly started prioritizing non-GMO food, organic when it's possible. I stopped putting products on my body that come from the big companies that are made with chemicals that are really bad for you. I started drinking alkaline water. These are all things that, of course, some of them were from influences from people in my life like Aaron, but mostly it was all intuitive. I think I got him into eating all completely non-GMO now. And mind you, we don't eat completely non-GMO, but at home we do. At home, our diet is non-GMO and organic when possible, but we're not crazy about it when we're outside of the house. We'll eat what we want to eat. And I am vegan and plant-based and I don't eat gluten, so that also helps. Now, what I'm trying to get at is decalcifying your pineal gland. Since I started eating more intuitively and then I looked into how to decalcify your pineal gland, I found that these things go hand in hand. That's how you decalcify the pineal gland. You reduce your chemical consumption, like fluoride in your water or aluminum in your deodorant, fluoride in your toothpaste. There are companies that make the same products that cost the same amount of money and they don't contain fluoride or aluminum or any of these chemicals that are really bad for you. Make little decisions like that. I didn't have to do anything crazy. I really just did little tiny things, and it started to very powerfully decalcify my pineal gland and open my third eye. Now I'm able to sense energy. I believe that if you live outside of the US, fluoride is not as big of a problem, but I'm not sure. I would Google your country and find out what the fluoride situation is with your water. But from what I know, it's the biggest issue in the US. Our water is toxic. Everything is just no bueno. If you want to find out more about decalcifying your pineal gland, Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart has amazing videos on this. I'll link him below because I really recommend it. I watched his video though like years ago when he posted it, probably 5 years ago. And I was just like, I didn't relate to it. And now I'm just like, oh my God, it's so crazy how the spiritual journey will change your perspective on everything. Next one I feel like is a given. Spend more time in nature. But when you spend time in nature, sit down for a bit, or while you're walking through nature, start to listen and start to feel. The trees are alive, the plants are alive, all the animals there, they all have messages for us. They all have things to teach us. And when we open ourselves up to them, that's when we receive downloads, we receive information. I took a meditation class the other day, and the teacher that was running it was saying how he went out to this forest in New York, in Brooklyn, somewhere outside of Brooklyn or something like that, from what I remember. And he was walking through this forest, and he sat down to meditate. And the trees spoke to him, and the trees told him, we want to become homes. Cut us down and make us homes. And he was listening. He's like, maybe I got the wrong message. I don't know. This sounds weird. Why did the trees want to be cut down? When he was done with the meditation, he met back up with his brother who was hiking with him through the forest. And he's like, hey, what is this forest? Where are we at? Is this like a national park? What is this? So his brother says, actually, this is a man-made forest. And these trees were all grown to make homes for people that are living in poverty right now. So the trees knew why they were created, why they came to this plant, in this particular forest. I don't think that all trees would be saying the same thing, but there are always messages that we can receive from nature. So go out in nature and listen. The last two pieces of advice I have is to observe yourself more. Without judgment, become committed to observing yourself more. What thoughts are you thinking? What words are you saying? What energy are you giving out? And then this goes hand in hand with the last tip, which is to start journaling your spiritual awakening. I'll have a video about this very soon, about how to journal your spiritual awakening, but basically keep track of your moods, keep track of your energy, keep track of any messages you receive and what you were doing that day, what may have opened you up to those messages. Keep track of your dreams and just tap into that, because that will be like you knocking on the door of the spirit world and saying, hey, I'm tapped in, I'm ready and willing to walk in, invite me in. So that's it for me today on becoming more psychic, opening up to your extrasensory abilities. Of course, there are so many other ways to do this, and as I learn them, I will share them with you. Do you guys feel like you have any special psychic ability or something that you are really strong at? What do you do to strengthen your psychic abilities? Do you play with crystals? What do you do? I would love to hear. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And of course, make sure to check out Keen if you feel called to do it. Trykeen.com/Lior gives new Keen users $1.99 for 10 minutes, a 10-minute reading, and I highly recommend Monique Empath. Tell her I sent you. She might not know who I am because I didn't tell her, but tell her I sent you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for spending some time with me today, and until my next video, as always, keep your vibrations way, way, way up. Bye.